Oh, hold on a second. What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Now, I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we will be getting things started. Now, give me a second here. I got to click on some things. Come on, thing. Did things out of order. That's how it goes. Anyways, like I said, get into the schedule here. Maybe. If I could spell. Anyways, we're going to be starting off with a video titled Measles Outbreak Expected to Surge Across the U.S. for Months. Now, this is kind of a follow-up on the fear-mongering that's been going on through News Nation, continuing to tell people to be really, really scared, and then, of course, taking jabs at RFK as well as anti-vaxxers. But they never mention if these are illegals that are catching the measles. They just say people. People of all sorts are catching them, even though most of us are vaccinated for it. Then we got an interesting video titled Honda to make Civic in Indiana, not Mexico, due to U.S. tariffs. Seems like President Trump was right. Putting no tariffs on people will bring business to America. Then we got a video titled Melania Trump calls out Dems for skipping her nonpartisan event. In that video, they're talking about how people are using tech in order to fake nudes and stick your face on it in order to smear you or just make you look bad, or who knows. But either way, they're trying to pass some bills here to make it so that's illegal. I don't know how it's not already illegal, but either way, they're trying to do some things. Then we got a video titled Trump halts all U.S. military aid to the Ukraine, White House officials say. I'm sure it has to do with Zelenskyy's little outburst there in the Oval Office. Then we got a video titled Zelenskyy reflects on meeting with President Trump. It is time to make things right. He wrote a very lengthy tweet. He didn't say sorry, but he kind of outlined it. Then we got a video titled J.D. Vance demands payback from Ukraine for aid after Zelenskyy Oval Office clash. He's going to be talking about how he supports the confirmation of the newest pick for the Department of Defense, and then also takes questions from the press. Then this video is titled Bill to ban trans athletes from girls and women's sports fails to advance in Senate. I am kind of confused by that because I thought President Trump signed an EO to do that, so I figured I wouldn't have to go through Senate, but I guess I'm wrong. Then we got Trudeau slams President Trump over tariffs, saying it's a very dumb thing to do. Apparently, old flamboyant ass went up there on TV sometime in the last 24 hours, gave a little speechy speech, and decided to speak to our president. Then we got a video titled Taking Immediate Action. We'll find out who the ICE raid leakers are, says Homan. Making more promises, claiming he's going to be holding people accountable. He says ICE has removed 30,000 illegals from the streets right now. I kind of feel like those numbers are low, but that's what he says. Then we got a video titled Caroline Leavitt sends message to Dems planning to disrupt the Trump address. That's supposed to be happening, I think, at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. President Trump addresses joint session of Congress. We'll see if I can cover that. I got a bunch of stuff going on, but I'll see what I can do. Then we got two funny videos of the day, and we will be opening today's door from the Advent calendar that was sent to us from Josh 1776. And then our first funny video of the day is titled How Bottom Surgeries Were Done in the 90s. And then our official funny video of the day is titled Watch How You Treat People. All of this is coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Astrohammer? What's up, Russell? What's up, Tin Man? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Turbo? What's up, Matt Rogers? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Hold on, let me make sure things are rolling. They are, but no one's here. Interesting. Either way, Tony Rez, you were first today. Happy freedom to you. If you ain't first, you're last. That's right, Tony Rez. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Silver Wolf? What's up, Matthew? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. I think we got everybody. What's up, Zupia? Happy freedom to you. You hooligans, make sure you hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page. What's up, Screaming Eagle? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? Let's see here. And what's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Killer J? What's up, Matt Rogers? You are omnipresent. Appreciate you. Tori Wayne, happy freedom to you. What's up, H-Bick? Happy freedom. What's up, Sherry? Appreciate you being with us. And what is up, everyone over on the commie platform? Matt Rogers, you were first over here. You were truly omnipresent. What's up, Scott? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mike Ingalls? What's up, WMM? Happy freedom. What's up, Kim? What's up, Cheeky Chops? What's up, Lenny? Happy freedom to you. Here, Juicy, you're on the wrong platform, buddy. Happy freedom, all of you hooligans over here on the commie tube. And what is up, everyone over on X? Tony Rich, appreciate you being over here. Happy freedom to you. Let's go ahead and get into things. Now, I guess before we do, we'll just add a little extra something in here. There is protesters crying in D.C., but they ain't doing a whole lot. They just kind of stand there looking like that. I think it was a little bit more active earlier in the day. A little bit. I don't know. They ain't doing a whole lot, but liberals never do they? Either way. Let's go ahead and get into things. This first one is the measles outbreak. Continuing to put on that fear-mongering from News Nation. I don't know why they're so hell-bent on making people afraid of the measles. Most of us are vaccinated for it, but they're like, nuh-uh, America's gonna die because of the anti-vaxxers. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have these epic winning t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in the chats, so you hooligans have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and we even made tumblers out of this design. Today I got on the Plain Jane Jeff Mac t-shirt. We'll be posting the merch store link in all of the chats while we watch this first video.
The growing measles outbreak has health officials across the country sounding the alarm this morning. You now have 10 states that are dealing with these cases. Texas is leading the way with more than 150 cases and the country's first measles death that we've seen in a decade. News Nation's Xavier Walton has the latest from Dallas. Xavier, parents are on high alert over this one, myself included. Where's this outbreak headed from here?
Well, that's what health officials are really trying to figure out, Marky. Good morning to you. Well, the number of confirmed cases, it continues to go up. And here in Texas, you just mentioned it, leading the way, the outbreak nearing 160. But let's take a step back. Here's the big picture. Here's a map of what it looks like right now across the country. Highlighted the states in orange here from Alaska to Rhode Island, states in between. Right now, there are 10 states, as you mentioned, reporting cases. But health officials expect that to go up, the outbreak becoming so concerning. States are sending out measles alerts. One issued in New Jersey after confirming its third case. The state's health department says an unvaccinated person contracted measles and spread it to 2 others after traveling overseas. And similar stories in Pennsylvania, New York. But by far and away, the biggest fear and concern still here in the Lone Star State. That's where an unvaccinated school-aged child died of measles, marking the first measles death in the U.S. since 2015. Even neighboring country, Mexico, warning residents not to travel to Texas due to the outbreak. Some doctors believe this could have been avoided.
We have the highest rates of exemptions we've ever had. We have the highest rates of kids that are unvaccinated. We have the highest distrust in modern medicine. I mean, you look at some of the stats, 70% of individuals, when they were asked just 5 years ago if they trusted medicine or healthcare, would have said they did. And now it's just 40%.
Meantime, RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary, he wrote an op-ed stressing the importance of vaccines, but added, the decision is deeply personal. It's a deeply personal one. That opinion, viewed by, some medical professionals and state officials, as somewhat controversial, believing that vaccinations against viruses like the measles save lives and protect vulnerable populations like very young children and those who with underlying medical conditions that prohibit getting the vaccine. Measles, incredibly contagious respiratory virus that causes painful rashes. In some cases, you see it here, infections causing pneumonia, blindness, brain swelling, even death in the worst case possible. Texas officials here say, the outbreak could continue for at least a couple more months. Potentially, another update is expected later today.
The image is just agonizing to look at, and the outbreak is scary, and we're watching it. Xavier, thank you so much, live from Texas this morning.
The images are agonizing to look at. Yeah, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. Now, like I said, they don't tell you if any of these people are illegals or not. Most people are vaccinated for measles. That's been done forever. Kids get vaccinated for all kinds of things when they're young. Like the first 3 or 5 years of their life or something, they get 22 vaccines or something. And that's one of them. So most people don't have anything to worry about. But according to News Nation, we're all going to die. Like, it's so stupid. Pushing that fear. They didn't tell you that. You know, they didn't say, oh, well, most of us are actually vaccinated. No. There's over 100 cases in Texas. Oh, really? Isn't that where there's a lot of border crossers? Oh, we ain't going to talk about that? Oh, okay. Anyways, next up, Honda to make Civic in Indiana and not Mexico due to the U.S. tariffs. This is exactly what President Trump is putting tariffs on people for, except for I can't even think of what it's called. It's not retaliatory tariffs, reciprocal tariffs. So if you put tariffs on us, we're just going to put tariffs on you just because. Now, that's different than him putting tariffs on major imports. That's to get them to put big business here. And so Honda, they're talking about coming to Indiana. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what your Hooligans think about the measles fear-mongering, as well as them taking jabs at RFK Jr. and the anti-vaxxers. Russell, I was vaxxed when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was too. If I wasn't, I guess I'll find out, but that's okay. We'll still go live. It'll be fine. Let's see. Matt Rogers telling the people that most likely brought it here to not come here. Yeah, would have made a difference. What's up, you Hill? Happy freedom to you. Turbo, it would be nice if we could trust our government to give good vaccines. It's true. A lot of people think that's why we had a spike in like autism over the last 50 years or whatever, is because mercury and vaccines. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know there's a lot of people that feel that way. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Is the Black Plague coming back too? It usually comes back every year, every other year, 1 or 2 cases. They usually do a lot of fear-mongering about that too. RFK Jr. has already come out and said this is a normal thing. We get measles outbreaks like every year, and I think the last time we had it was worse than what we got going on right now. What's up, Fresca Beam? Happy freedom to you. What's up, MU? Silverville Pumpkin's not here. Maybe she'll slide through in a little bit. It's a little bit later than it normally is. It's been a rough 2 days, I'll tell you that. Matthew, terrifying. I know, they're using all the big words. What's up, Disco? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Stoner? Kevin, my twin brother got the measles when I was a kid, but I didn't get it. So that means you're susceptible to it, Kevin? Well, I hope you don't get it. How'd your brother get through it? Like, was it that big of a deal or was it not a big deal? I don't know a lot about the measles. Matthew, everything's back. Fanatical, you can't even trust your doctor with vaccines. They've been lied to the most. Yeah. And that's the crazy thing, too, because you talk to your doctor thinking you could trust them, but they only know what other people told them. So if they were lied to, they're going to speak with confidence, and you're going to feel susceptible to believing them. So, yeah, it's a big circle of lies. What's up, Viola? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, I realized that I didn't post update yesterday on YouTube, so everybody on YouTube was wondering why we didn't go live. I posted like everywhere except for there. I don't know how I forgot that. Master Meatball, the spike in autism could be a way to prescribe pills and profit. Yeah, well, I don't think people are necessarily. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to talk about, I suppose. On TikTok, they act like everything's related to autism. They're like, do you bite your nails? You're autistic. You like wearing the color green? Nah, you're autistic. And that's where a lot of people are self-diagnosing. We talk about that every once in a while. I'm talking about people who definitely have something going on. And a lot of people who have family members like that feel that some people feel that it's linked to child vaccines or whatever they call it. What's up, Ball? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cindy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Blondebeard? Indoctrination. That's right, Blondebeard. What's up, Gen X? Happy freedom. ADHD and autism. Yep. What's up, Phillips? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans. We're going to move on to this next one. Like I said, Honda, to make their Honda Civic, is going to be in Indiana and not Mexico, and that was based off of the tariffs. So while the news is telling everyone the tariffs is going to smoke us, we won't be able to afford food or gas, and we'll have to eat Z-Bugs, Honda's like, fuck that. We're building Civics in Indiana. We're not going to cut you guys off from the Honda Civics. Nah, we're going to build them in Indiana. It's good stuff. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Sources say Honda has decided to produce its next-generation Civic Hybrid in the US state of Indiana. The switch from Mexico is to avoid potential tariffs on one of its top-selling car models, the people familiar with the matter have said. The change underscores how manufacturers are scrambling to adapt to US President Donald Trump's proposed 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada. Several automakers have expressed concerns about the levies, but Honda's reported move would be the first concrete measure by a major Japanese car company. The sources said Honda now plans to build its new Civic model in Indiana from May 2028, with an expected annual production of around 210,000 vehicles. All of those speaking to Reuters requested anonymity, as the information has not been made public. A Honda spokesperson declined to comment on changes to the Civic production plan. Mexico has long been a lower-cost production hub for Japanese and other global automakers. Honda sends around 80% of its Mexican output to the US, the world's second-largest auto market after China. It warned in November that it would have to think about shifting production if the US were to impose permanent tariffs on imported vehicles. Honda's case underscores how potentially disruptive the US tariffs would be for industries that cannot drastically alter production plans in the short term.
I mean, they still try to bring back the fear-mongering a little bit. They're like, yeah, this is really great for Honda, but for these other companies that, they can't afford to do this, just know you're going to be paying out the ass. Oh, okay. Well, whatever you say, I guess we better buy American then. That's fine. We'll just buy American. Our shit's usually better anyways. Anyways, next up we got... The title's really weird. I don't know. I don't know why they named it this, because I feel like the video's about stuff other than this. They titled it, Melania Trump calls out Dems for skipping her nonpartisan event. But in the video, they're going to be talking about this situation where people are using tech, either Photoshop or AI, to basically stick your face on nude photos in order to smear you or whatever, just compromise your appearance and stuff like that. So Melania wants to get something going where this is going to be a crime and you can actually report it. You could report to social media if you see these photos and they can be taken down. This is kind of a follow-up video we covered a couple months ago. Some high schooler, I don't know how old she is, probably 16 or something, who was affected like this. One of her classmates or somebody made a whole collage of photos that were nude with her face or likeness, and it got all over the school and it caused problems and stuff like that. Now, you would think that would be a crime to a certain degree because you're portraying a child nude, so whoever generated that, they definitely they need to be held accountable. Now, Melania is kind of bringing this up, and they're trying to figure out a way to pass legislation. Now, this is one of those things where you could say, oh, well, it's free speech. I don't really know. When you get to nude content, there's a lot of restrictions on it. So I don't know if this is defamation of character, exactly how they're going to classify it. But either way, this is what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Honda moving to Indiana instead of to Mexico. Turbo, you put my face on any hot model you want. Yeah, Turbo, until you find out that they posted it with like a really little wiener. And then you're like, nah, why'd you do that? And see, that's what they're doing. Matt Rogers, the only Honda I ever had was a CRX, and it was a fun little car. Yeah, they seem like pretty good cars. There's a lot of people like Honda. Is Hair Juicer here? I'm pretty sure Hair Juicer's got a Honda. He's a big fan of Honda. What's up, Guess Happy freedom to you. Guess I stopped buying Asian hookers. I only buy American now. That's right, Guess Holy. Russell, I have never wanted to own a Civic. They're good on gas mileage, and Hair Juicer says they're fantastic. You put snow tires on them, but you drive Jeeps, so that's a little bit different. Matt Rogers, yeah, I'm tired of seeing a child act out and someone says, it's okay, they're on the spectrum. Like everyone has autism. Yeah, Matt Rogers. That's kind of what's going on. They got a pill for every problem. And then you think, well, I don't have problems. And people are like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Let me tell you all the problems you got. I got a label for all of your problems. You ain't got enough problems, we'll give you problems. Then you can go get pills for them. Like, I don't know. That's the new generation. Here, user, love my Civic Si. Yeah, see? U-Hill Kias are amazing on gas mileage. I've never been a big fan of Kia, but the newer ones look pretty cool. I don't know. I've never known anyone that had one, though. Bill Clay, I almost had a Honda CRX for my first car, but my dad found a better deal on a Thunderbird. Well, that's pretty badass, driving a Thunderbird. My first car was a Plymouth Neon, and it was turquoise. Not exactly a cool car, but I felt cool driving it. Drove the shit out of that car. Kevin, she was dressed like Darkwing Duck. Yeah, but she was styling. What's up, Appeal to Heaven? Happy freedom to you. Matthew, look up how many Chinese car compants there are. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up, though. We don't have any Chinese cars here, right? I don't know. I didn't even know any Chinese car brands. Honda, Subaru, and Mitsubishi, I believe, are all Japanese cars. Or Toyota. I don't know about Mitsubishi, but Toyota's Japanese. I'll look it up, Matthew. Kevin, measles is one of them things you need to get when you're a kid, like the children pox. Oh, like the chicken pox, if I could read that help. So you fight it off easy and forever immune to it. Oh, I didn't know that. So if you catch measles once, you're done. You ain't never getting measles again. I didn't know that. I don't know why I thought chicken pox would be the only one like that. Now that I said it out loud. What's up, Sind? Happy freedom to you. Bill Clay, I got chicken pox in 3rd grade. Best part, I got a week off of school. Yeah, I remember getting chicken pox, but I don't remember how school went. I just remember being miserable, and it was summertime, and I was like sweating to death and itching. I didn't like it. Fanatical, happy freedom to you. SIDS is linked to vaccines. So I don't even know what SIDS is, but I will look that up after the live as well. Get my homework together, I suppose. Kevin, he was really sick for a bit, but it's all I remember because we were 8 or 9. Yeah, I understand, Kevin. Matthew, I miss Pumpkin. Well, maybe she'll show up in a little bit. You never know. If everybody types her name in the chat, she will appear. We have to summon her. Bill Clay, when you're young, any car is good. That's right, Bill. As long as you drive it responsibly. I see a lot of teenagers out here driving too fast and stuff like that, and they're going to end up dying, and people could be real sad, and they could learn to drive right today, you know? And my grandpa used to really get on me about driving. Pulling up to the stop sign, and he'd be all bracing himself. This ain't a hot rod, you know. It's like, Grandpa, I ain't even going that fast. We just pulled out of the parking lot. What are you talking about? And he always was driving my ass about it. So I feel like I drive pretty good. I drive like an old man. I know I drive good because everybody who gets in the car with me bitches about how slow I drive. And I come to a complete stop, and I use my turn signals, and I don't pull off of stop signs trying to chirp all 4 tires. People are like, you suck. I'm like, at least I'm not dead, okay? I'm not going to die in a car accident unless it's someone else's fault. Matthew, yeah, I figured it out. Stoner, you can order cars on Temu. That makes a lot of sense. That makes sense. I think you can order electric motorcycles from Amazon, too. Thought about it, but I guess they're hard to register. Oh, Stoner, yeah, now that you spelled it all out for me, yeah, I know what SIDS is now. Yeah. Thank you, Stoner. Thank you for informing me. Then pumpkin. Yeah, but you got to light a candle and say it in the mirror 3 times with the lights off. Stoner, that'd be a good band name. What's the good band name? What's up, Torp? Happy freedom to you. I was born in 75, so hardly any vaccines. So you're good to go. You might want to dodge these people with the measles, but other than that, you'll be good. What's up, Johnny Cage? Happy freedom. Johnny, until you've been in a wreck, most don't understand how dangerous cars can be. Absolutely. Especially when it comes to driving fast. It's all a good time until you lose control and you just want to stop, and the car doesn't just stop. That's what people figure it out, and usually by that point, it's too late. What's up, Kentucky? Happy freedom to you. Lenny, my first car was a 1963 Triumph TR3, baby blue, 4 on the floor, bucket seats, convertible. You styling, Lenny? Like I said, I wasn't really styling in the Plymouth Neon before Dodge even bought it. Pulling through the beach, because our beach is a big deal in Ludington. People come from all over the world to be at the beach. I'm like, wah. Nobody thought I was cool, but I felt cool. Don, happy freedom to you. My mom gave us a baking soda bath when we got the pox, and it burned like hell. See, I don't remember going through that. It probably make the itching go away though. I just remember itching and feeling bad. I just remember that, and I hated it. Don, 21 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro is a beast. Yeah, I like Toyotas, and all the new Toyotas are all aggressive looking, like military vehicles. They're awesome, but here in Michigan, they're like twice as expensive as everywhere else, because people like Michiganders will hold on to like a Toyota 4Runner, and they will just run it until they got to Flintstone the vehicle, till they're just kicking their little feet through the floorboards. It is so hard to buy a 4Runner here. All right, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next one. Like I said, this is Melania Trump calls out Dems for skipping her nonpartisan event. Now, the real deal here in the video is they're going to be talking about that tech where they're sticking faces on nude photos and portraying people in a way that they didn't actually take the picture. And they're talking about the legality of that and how they're trying to pass bills, so you're not allowed to do that. You can't do that stuff anymore. That's what's coming up next, but first I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this video pulled up. Melania Trump. Hold up. Hold on, buddy. Just give me a second here. I ain't ready yet. Jeez. Anyways, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube, and let's get into this.
There are going to be guests as well that advance the agenda of the Republicans and the Democrats. For instance, Melania tonight, the First Lady, is going to have somebody who is impacted by a deep fake, an inappropriate image. Her name, Ellison Berry. She's been on this program. Yesterday, Melania was talking in Washington about the Take It Down Act, and she threw her support behind it. And essentially, it's a bipartisan bill. And what it does, if somebody posts something inappropriate, and it couldn't be a deep fake, not even real, AI, about you, and you are embarrassed, you contact that social media company or that tech company, and they got to take it down fast, or they're going to be in trouble. And anybody who puts that crap up there could wind up with a big penalty or even jail time.
It's interesting, Ainsley, that you even need legislation to get something like this done, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I think the only reason is because this is a new thing. You know, the internet age has not been around all that long, and so they're realizing that these children's lives are being ruined. Here's Melania.
I'm here with you today with a common goal: to protect our youth from online harm. The widespread presence of abusive behavior in the digital domain affects the daily lives of our children, families, and communities. Addressing this issue is essential for fostering a safe and supportive environment for our young people. I must admit, however, I expected to see more Democrats, leaders with us here today, to address this serious issue. Surely, as adults, we can prioritize Americans' children ahead of partisan politics.
Brian?
Yeah, it was good to see her out. This is the first time we've seen her really since she's officially been First Lady after the inauguration. I think it's a great cause to get behind. She's clearly motivated by it. And is there any flip side to it? You would think this would be an opportunity for Hakeem Jeffries and company to show up, unless you're pro pro-harassing students and ruin their lives, that a lot eventually turns into suicide. Here's Ellison Bear.
All right, so I think they called it the Take It Down Act, I believe is what they said. I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing because you kind of want to say it's free speech, you know, that you can create these images and whatever, but at the same time, when it comes to nudity, especially like publicizing nude photos and stuff, that's where you get into legal trouble. You can't just take nude photos and post them wherever you want to, especially if they're not of you. And so that's where you run into defamation of character and all kinds of other stuff. Or like, what about the situation where somebody posts this, your job sees it, they believe it because they're a bunch of fucking idiots, and now you get fired because this stuff got on the internet and your boss is an idiot. So, you know, this is obviously a bad thing. They need to do something about it, but it's kind of hard to say. I kind of feel like in the middle of everything, like in between. I feel like in certain ways, we're seeing a lot of actions being taken to put the country in a positive spin, but then in other ways, we still are lacking accountability to corrupt people, especially politicians and stuff like that. So we'll see if they actually do something about this and make it so when you actually write the customer service of the social media, they actually do something. Because right now they don't. You could write and report whatever you want, and unless you have 100 people go do it with you, most of the time that falls on deaf ears. And so if somebody's got a nude fake of you and you go and report it, you got to have a lot of manpower or else that ain't doing anything. So we'll see if social media actually changes and actually cares when stuff like this happens. Either way, next up we got Trump halts all U.S. military aid to the Ukraine, says White House officials. There's going to be a portion of this video I'm not going to be able to show you guys because it shows soldiers shooting guns. I cannot show guns being held or anything else on the live. I'm not supposed to, the stupid community guidelines, but it has to do with people deleting themselves, right? So they don't know if it's a real video or if I'm showing the video, so I can't show it, but you'll be able to hear it and you'll be able to watch most of the video without seeing the soldiers standing around with guns. It's not a big deal. It's just something I have to deal with. So either way, it's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about these nude fakes and them trying to create a path to victory. So if this happens to you, you can actually do something about it. Guess you just smoke it right off the rib, huh? Look at this, is lightning fast. This lightning fast. Melania, what are you doing? Holy. Russell, if you put my face on a nude, make sure it's Fabio. That's hilarious, Russell. Guess inappropriate is subjective at best. Yeah, it's based around context. Matt Rogers, our 18-year-old drives an 88 Ranger with an automatic transmission. He can't speed. It won't do it. That's what he meant. That's the safe way to be. It's safe. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. Jeb, cheap, deep, nude fakes aren't cool. That's right. Those cheap fakes, they'll get you. Appeal to heaven guidelines are messed up. X shows Ukrainian army kidnapping people just cause. Yeah, but it just depends. It depends, because I think even Rumble has guidelines against showing firearms being used on a live. You can upload videos of this stuff, but if it's a live, there's different community guidelines. Plus, we got YouTube here today, and everything's fucking banned over there. Stoner, don't nude fake me, bro. Taser. Yes. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom. See, I told you guys. I told you if y'all typed her name in the chat, you would summon her. I told you. And it worked. We gotta make Jeff Was Right t-shirts. Sherry, when kids use AI to create pics of other kids to humiliate them naked, it should be taken down and some form of retribution should be offered. Absolutely. Well, and this is another reason why I don't think kids need to be online. Because if they did generate a photo like that, they wouldn't have anywhere to post it. They'd have to post it on Snapchat or something, and then it's up to Snapchat to ban them from, well, I guess if that's social media, they'd be banned from that too. I always think of Snapchat as a messaging system. But that's what I mean. The only way they'd be able to spread hate or any kind of bad stuff like that would be through messaging apps, because they'd already be banned from social media, because kids don't need to be on social media. There's no need for children to be on social media. Like I say all the time, you wouldn't let your kid go play at the bar. You wouldn't take them to the bar at 11 o'clock at night and go, yeah, go talk to the strangers and hear their life story and shit. Ask them how their kids are doing. Like, you know, compliment their outfit. Like, you wouldn't do that. Normal people wouldn't do that. The liberals might do that shit. They let drag queens read to the, you know, stories to them, so maybe they would. But normal people wouldn't do that. Well, when you let kids on social media, that's what they're doing. They're talking to strangers, and they're talking to predators, because most people don't want to talk to children. So if you see people having conversations and liking photos on kids' videos, their pictures, their posts, chances are they're child predators. So why even make your kids susceptible to that stuff? You know, it should just be banned outright. You should have to be 18 years old or 17 years old or something like that to be on social media. And then when they got their little hate, you know, nude fakes or whatever we're going to call them, they wouldn't be able to share it on a mass scale anyways. Master Meatball, kids need to play in person to develop social skills. Yeah, absolutely. Torb, do DMCAs for nudes. Yeah, I bet Rumble would. They respond to that kind of stuff. YouTube is kind of hit and miss. What's up, Vinny? Happy freedom to you. Cindy, Nancy's pissed. She can't sit behind Trump tonight to make faces and fuss. Yeah, that's all right. Let her be mad. What's up, Taro? Is that how you say your name? Either way, happy freedom to you. What's up, Proud Ankle? Happy freedom. The Take It Down Act. Thank you, Johnny Cage. What's up, Shark? Happy freedom. What time does the live normally start? 3 p.m. Eastern time, but today it got pushed back. And yesterday it got, well, it got canceled because I had stupid stuff going on at the apartment. Hair Juicer, I don't know if I want to read that out loud. That's kind of a crazy story there. Rough. That is rough stuff. Well, Hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, Trump halts all U.S. military. Trump halts all U.S. military aid to Ukraine, says a White House official. Now, that shouldn't have been that hard to say, but it is because, you know, stuff and things. Anyways, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a portion of this video where they're going to show soldiers shooting firearms, and I cannot show that on the live. So I'll flip the screen, but you'll still be able to hear everything being said, and, you know, if they got sound effects and all of that. You're not going to miss anything. I just can't show it because of stupid community guidelines. Not my fault. It's YouTube's fault and the platform's fault, and you can blame all of them, but make sure you hit the like button when you go to do that shit, and let's get into this.
U.S. President Donald Trump has paused military aid to Ukraine following his clash with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy last week. That's according to a White House official who, speaking on the condition of anonymity, said, quote, President Trump has been clear that he is focused on peace. We need our partners to be committed to that goal as well. We are pausing and reviewing our aid to ensure that it is contributing to a solution. The White House had no immediate comment on the scope and amount of aid affected or how long the pause would last. The Pentagon could not provide further details. Zelenskyy's office did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment, nor did the Ukrainian embassy in Washington. The move deepens the rift that is opened between the two one-time allies. It comes after Trump upended U.S. policy on Ukraine and Russia upon taking office in January and taking a friendlier approach to Moscow, and after an explosive confrontation with Zelenskyy in the White House on Friday, in which Trump criticized him for being insufficiently grateful for Washington's backing in the war with Russia.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
Since Russia's invasion nearly 3 years ago, the U.S. Congress has approved $175 billion in total assistance for Ukraine, according to the nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. The announced pause in military aid applies mainly to aid that has been previously approved but not yet dispersed. Trump has not approved any new aid since his term began. However, he suggested on Monday that a deal to open up Ukraine's minerals to U.S. investment could still be on the table.
Mr. President, is the Ukraine minerals deal now dead, or can it be revived? What's your...
Well, I'll let you know. We're making a speech. You probably heard about it tomorrow night, so I'll let you know tomorrow night. But no, I don't think so.
The Trump administration views a minerals deal as America's way of earning back some of the aid given to Ukraine since Russia invaded 3 years ago. On Monday, Trump also described it as a great deal for us and suggested he'd give an update on the situation during a speech to a joint session of Congress set for Tuesday night.
All right. So, President Trump halting aid to the Ukraine, which, that's whatever. And it's probably because of what happened in the Oval Office the other day. Now, we got a few more things related to Zelenskyy coming up. This next one, Zelenskyy reacts on meeting with Trump. It is time to make things right. Now, he wrote this lengthy Twitter post. He wrote a whole novel on X. And he's kind of portraying an image in which he's ready for peace. We'll see. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what your hooligans think about President Trump halting U.S. military aid to the Ukraine. Hill, yeah, the Oval Office meeting was so tense to watch. What I think is interesting is how many liberals think that President Trump did something wrong. That's what I think is really weird. Now, a lot of people are making fun of J.D. Vance or whatever, and I kind of think that J.D. Vance didn't have to say anything, but he chose to say something, and then really it's Zelensky's fault for the words that he chose when he was responding to J.D. Vance. But when he said that, in the future, America's going to feel problems, that sounds like a threat, and President Trump didn't like that, and so he laid into him, which I thought was the right move. I thought that was the right move. You're going to let him threaten us right in the Oval Office? Now, I don't think he was intentionally threatening us. I think he was trying to put things in a perspective. Like, if you had the problems I had, you'd be feeling differently. I think that's what he was trying to say, but he had choose his words correctly. And, it sounded like a threat. Now, liberals seem to think that President Trump should have just rolled over. He should have just kept talking and whatever. And the fact that he laid into him was like, no, you don't tell us how we're going to feel and all of that. A lot of liberals feel that he embarrassed us. That was super embarrassing to the whole world of how we behave and this, that, and the other. I don't know. I think acting like a soft and stupid person is more embarrassing than telling somebody, hey, you ain't going to make any kind of imply that you're threatening us or we're going to have a bad future or how our future is going to be or anything like that. That's just wrong. So I think President Trump handled it correctly, but it is surprising to see how many people do not feel the same. Now, I know some people just hate Trump, and they're just going to think that way regardless, but it's really interesting to see people feel like, well, I didn't know Trump was going to act like that, and I don't really know if I can support that, and blah, 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 like wishy-washy Trump supporters and stuff like that. Is weird. What do you want him to do? Just bend over and take it? Like, I don't know. I don't like that soft shit. I think President Trump handled it correctly. Either way, reading through. Jay Spray, that was definitely a threat. Yeah, it sounded like a threat, for sure. Hill, well, they are the same idiots that support the USAID. That's true, too. Hair juicer, yeah, at 9 p.m. Eastern time. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom to you. Sage Pop, is it my imagination or does it seem like every time T-Man stomps his foot, leaders in other countries jump up and start doing their job finally? Yeah, it's that Trump effect, and it is working, but the one thing that bothers me, and we got a video coming up, Tom Homan making all these claims he's going to hold people accountable, and then he just doesn't. And I don't understand that. They also talk about how they've removed 30,000 illegals so far. That's a long way from 25 million. And so I don't know. Like, I like what President Trump is doing, and he's doing EOs and he's working his ass off. I just wish other people worked as hard as President Trump. What's up, Neurodivergent? Happy freedom to you. Oh, you came to work today? Yeah, you being a good boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. You got cat breath. You know that? You should go brush your teeth. Yes. Go have a seat. Told the carrier Zelenskyy just wants our fighting men. Yeah. Well, that and some money and some cocaine. Screaming Eagle, Trump is the boss, doing boss things. That's right. Jeb, the pudgy little smuck, won't be happy until we're in World War III. Well, I don't know. The way President Trump was talking, he was like, you keep acting like this, we're going to go hands off. We're going to watch Russia smoke you and wipe you out, and then we'll get involved. And then you just won't be here anymore. And so it's like, well, when you put it like that, and I mean, that's kind of how he was talking to him in the Oval Office. What did he say? He said, you won't last a day or you won't last a week. And Zelenskyy was like, yeah, I know. Putin said it wouldn't last 3 days. I'm like, well, then if you know, then why are you talking like that? What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom to you. Matthew, no cards, bro. He's like, you do not have the cards. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Guess the left hates Elon so bad that they want to hunt down Tesla owners. I would love it if Elon announced he was flamboyant just to see the firestorm. Yeah, that's pretty strategic. That is strategic thinking there. Jay Sprays, he is the face of the war machine. Yeah, I could see that. He doesn't want peace. What's up, Tree Herder? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. I was very impressed with Trump. You could tell he held back. Yeah. And I like he kept grabbing his coat. He's like, listen. He's holding himself back. He's like, I want to put you on your little head right now, but I'm not going to because all the press is here. He's like, so you better hear me. You don't have the cards. What's up to Marquise? Happy freedom to you. What's up to Coma Nurse? When is T-Man supposed to talk to Congress today? It's supposed to be in 2 hours and 40 minutes. What's up, Steve S? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tactical Dragon? Happy freedom to you. If we get Ukraine minerals, how many times will we have to defend the U.S. mineral rights interest through wars? That's an interesting question there, Tactical. Yeah, and well, I think that's also why they want to hold... My brain is not working. They want to hold an election in the Ukraine. Is because I think President Trump wants to establish this mineral rights stuff and then get a new leader in charge. Somebody who's not so war hungry. That's just what I think, though. What's up, Tackett? Happy freedom to you. What's your name? What's up, Anti? Happy freedom. Turbo got the whole deck, and my best one is Trump. They should come out with like collecting cards or something with politicians. That's such a good idea. They could keep releasing them every year and have like new photos and new stats or like little descriptions and stuff like that. They could totally do that. People collect Pokemon cards. Why wouldn't they collect politician cards? What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, we're going to get on to this next one. Like I said, this is Zelenskyy reflects on meeting with President Trump, saying it is time to make things right. Now, he put out this obnoxiously long tweet. Like, it's his whole autobiography. But either way, we're going to endure it because we saw what happened in the Oval Office, and we got to keep up to date with what's going on in the situation here. So hit that like button over on Rumble as well as over on the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy extending an olive branch to President Trump after last week's Oval Office dust-up. Zelenskyy posting on X within the past few hours that he wants to work with the president, is grateful to America, and is ready to sign a minerals deal. All right, quite a 180 there. Scripps News Deputy Political Director Joe St. George joins us now live from Capitol Hill. And Joe, quite a different tone than Friday. How much do you think this had to do with President Trump's announcement to withhold military aid from Ukraine today?
It was certainly a big development announced by President Trump in the last 12 hours or so. And it comes just hours before President Trump's major address to a joint session of the United States Congress. I think this is such a noteworthy development on social media, posted on the social media site X. It's best as a reporter, sometimes I just need to report. So I want to read it to you in its entirety because I think it gives it the proper context that it needs. I would like to reiterate Ukraine's commitment to peace, the president of Ukraine says. None of us wants an endless war. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We're ready to work fast to end the war. And the first stages could be the release of prisoners and a truce in the sky, ban on missiles, long-range drones, bombs on energy and other civilian infrastructure, and truce in the sea immediately. So notice there, that's almost a framework for a ceasefire. President Zelenskyy going on to say we would want to move very fast through all the next stages and to work with the U.S. to agree to a strong final deal. And this is the part that's almost an act of contrition towards President Trump. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence, President Zelenskyy writes. And we remember the moment when things changed when President Trump provided Ukraine with javelins. We are grateful for this. Our meeting in Washington at the White House on Friday did not go the way it was supposed to be. It is regrettable. That's a noteworthy word there, guys. Regrettable that it happened this way. It is time to make things right. We would like future cooperation and communication to be constructive regarding the agreement on minerals and security. Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time in any convenient format. We see this agreement as a step toward greater security and solid security guarantees, and I truly hope it will work effectively. I know that is a mouthful. I know that is more of a speech as opposed to a social media post. But Holly, a remarkable development over the course of the last hour or so with President Zelenskyy using words like regrettable to describe that meeting with President Trump. That's close to an apology. Also laying the groundwork for what perhaps a temporary ceasefire might look like. So all of this, now we wait to see what President Trump is going to say. And yesterday he hinted that he was going to speak about Ukraine, as you might suspect, during his primetime joint speech to a joint session of Congress. We'll see if the president recalibrates, resets the relationship on this side of the Atlantic Ocean at all. This certainly sounds like a recalibration on the side of the Ukrainian president. More to come for sure. Now we wait for the president's words tonight in prime time, Holly.
Yep, we do. And sometimes it just needs a couple of days, a little bit of distance for some cooler heads, right?
All right. Now, Zelenskyy didn't say he was sorry. He was like, nah, I'm not going to say I'm sorry. Just got regrets. Yeah, because you left with nothing. You got thrown out. We all smoked you. Then you got smoked on the memes. Every day since, they're still coming out with new memes of Zelenskyy looking like a child. And he's like, you know what? I got regrets. Do you? He wants a little money, wants a couple soldiers, wants a bag of cocaine, wants to be in our good graces again. Yeah, we'll see. Next up, J.D. Vance demands payback from Ukraine for aid after Zelenskyy's Oval Office clash. He's going to be talking about how he supports the confirmation of the newest pick for the Department of Defense. I think they're called Bridges. I don't know who the person is, but that's who he references. And then he takes questions from the press, and a lot of the Zelenskyy stuff comes up. It's all coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Zelenskyy writing that gigantic X post about how he has regrets, and he's ready to do some more talking over at the White House. Sam, he looks like a good dog. You old shithead Zelenskyy. Mm-hmm. Russell, well, Zelenskyy maybe realizes that he was wrong and he's ready to play. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. The next interaction will speak volumes. Either he will be clashing again and have more problems and kind of show that he's really not ready for a sit down and to really get stuff resolved, or he'll be more polite, willing to play ball, and ready for a resolution. Chase Bray Z doesn't know what Netflix and chill means. He's going to have to sit down and have old man Walter explain it to him. What's up, Alistair? Happy freedom to you. He's full of shit. He doesn't want peace. We're going to get stuck in the middle of a war if we take that mineral deal. Yeah, I wonder, I mean, President Trump's got to be thinking about that. I wonder what he has planned. Because, yeah, if we're pulling minerals from a place that's at war, that puts us right in the middle of it. So, I don't know. I mean, I think President Trump just thinks he's going to end the war, but then they're also trying to get him to do the election stuff. So I also think that's kind of weird, because what if Zelenskyy makes a deal with President Trump, then they hold an election, then some other Yahoo becomes the president of Ukraine, and then they don't want to play ball with President Trump, and then a whole bunch of changes get made because the guy doesn't want to play ball with Trump, you know, because they're trying to do all this stuff all at once. Oh, Snooks, I don't know if he's got a little wiener. He's just a little guy, you know. He's got a little guy with a big attitude. Guess remember, he was a comedian before this. He just wants attention like most court gestures. Yeah, that could be it. What's up, Cassie J? Happy freedom to you. Non-woke have a surprise drug test waiting. Yeah, that's exactly how you get him. He's like, you ready to sign the deal? He's like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to need you to just take this test really quick. Catch him right off guard. What's up, Resident Alien? Happy freedom to you. Does it bother anyone else that he said it was Trump's responsibility to let his people know there would be a peace tree? If he was a real leader, his people would follow him. Yeah. Well, does Ukraine even have access to X? I know Zelenskyy does, but, you know, he's kind of running the show over there. Rappy regrets is not an apology. It's true. Rappy love the memes? Yeah, they're smoking them on the memes. Jeb, Trump should demand his left nut as part of the deal. I mean, he didn't take the deal without that kind of offer. President Trump just walks around carrying it in his pocket and just pulls it out every time he's speaking just to make a point. What's up, Nifty? Happy freedom to you. Lisa, I'm not sure he's got away after seeing his little ballet dance. Well, I'm interested to hear what President Trump's going to be saying today, because from what that little clip was saying, that President Trump isn't interested in doing any deals with him at this point, and he's going to be talking about it during his speech in 2.5 hours. Tactical. But Zelenskyy is running scared to all the NATO leaders to get help since the U.S. said, screw you. Yeah, he went right to the UK and got 5 million or 5 billion or something like that. Something crazy from straight to the UK. I wouldn't even know who that person was that he was standing with if that guy wasn't just shaking hands with President Trump last week. That's the only reason I even knew who that guy was. What's up, Sassy Patriot? Happy freedom to you. Vinny, yeah, I think we're going to be covering tonight's speech. What's up, Mr. Satan? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Aaron? Happy freedom to you. Saying something is regrettable is not the same as taking responsibility and apologizing. It's true. True. Well, he's not a very big guy. You guys know that. He's not going to take the high road. He's not going to be the bigger man. He's just not, you know? Jay Spray, NATO is NWO. It seems that way. I don't know a whole lot about NATO. Alistair, did you see the Ukraine memes about Trump? No, I have not. I have not. What do you got here, Sam? I'm not going to read this out loud because I don't know if I can say the M word. The Mamma Mia word. But either way, you guys can read. Yes, intelligent hooligans. Where's my money? Listen here, you little shit. And then JD Vance takes it too far. That's according to the lefties. JD Vance takes it too far. Anyways, like I said, we're going to move on. This is JD Vance. Speaking of the guy, JD Vance demands payback from Ukraine for aid after Zelensky's over the Oval Office clash. I'm going to need some chicken bacon here in a second. Anyways, like I said, in this video, he's going to be talking about how he is in support of the newest confirmation for the Department of Defense. They haven't been confirmed yet, at least according to this video. But he's supporting the guy. I think their name is Bridge or Bridges. And then he starts taking questions from the press. And, of course, Zelenskyy gets brought up. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, that my birthday is coming up. So if you would like to send me something for my birthday, you are welcome to do so, because we will be doing a birthday unboxing on March 11th. So you are welcome to the wish list link or the P.O. Box link if you would like to send me something for my birthday and be a part of the birthday unboxing. So I'm going to be dropping these links in the chat really quick, and also for you hooligans that sent stuff to the P.O. Box. I went to the P.O. Box today and picked up a bunch of packages. So no worries, I got a bunch of emails and stuff I got to send after the live, because I know there was a lot of people telling me, hey, go check the P.O. Box, so I did. Either way, this link right here is for the wish list. Anything you purchase from the wish list will be sent straight to me. You don't have to worry about tracking numbers or, you know, writing me and making sure I go check the P.O. Box. It'll be delivered straight to me. You don't have to worry about it. But if you would like to send me something of your choosing, here is the link for the P.O. Box. Please let me know if you send something to me, so I will go check it out. I will go pick it up, because if it sits at the post office longer than 3 days, they will try and send it back to you. There's no notifications. I'm not allowed to call them. They told me specifically to stop calling them. So the only way is for you to let me know, and I'll drive my happy little hooligan ass down there to pick it up. So there you go. There's a birthday reminder. And like I said, on the 11th, we're going to be doing the birthday unboxing. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Either way, we're getting into this. Like I said, JD Vance coming up like a hallway little presser here. All right, hooligans, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the Commie Tube, and let's get into this.
Thank you, Todd. Good morning, everybody. Obviously, I'm here to talk about my friend Bridge Colby. I think he'll make a great policy lead at the Department of Defense. It's why the president nominated him. And I just wanted to be here to give a word of encouragement, a word of approval, and just lend my reputation to Bridge's confirmation, because I think he's a really important person for us to have at the Department of Defense. We have gone for too long letting our industrial base get degraded, allowing our troops to not even have the munitions that they need to fight the wars of the future. President Trump really believes in peace through strength, but a core part of peace through strength is ensuring that our troops have the weapons that they need in order to fight the next war, if God forbid it necessarily comes. So Bridge is an important part of that defense policy. I think the Senate will confirm him, and I'm glad to be here and speak on his behalf. Happy to take a few questions if you guys have them.
Does possible aid for Ukraine leave Ukraine vulnerable right now and give Russia an advantage?
Look, what the president has said very clearly about our Ukraine policy is that he wants the Ukrainians to come to the negotiating table. We want the Ukrainians to have a sovereign and an independent country. We think the Ukrainian troops have fought very bravely, but we're at a point here where neither Europe nor the United States, nor the Ukrainians can continue this war indefinitely. So it's important that everybody come to the table, and the president is trying to send a very explicit message. The Ukrainians have got to come to the table and start negotiating with President Trump.
Do you still have hope for the mineral deal? Do you believe that the mineral deal can still be reached with Ukraine?
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think the president is still committed to the mineral deal. I think we've heard some positive things, but not yet, of course, a signature from our friends in Ukraine. But look, the mineral deal is a really important part of the president's policy. Number one, the American people have got to get some payback for the incredible financial investment we've made in this country. A lot of the aid that the Europeans have sent has come in the form of money that is getting repaid to them. Well, it's really ridiculous and frankly an insult to the American people that the Europeans are getting a better deal than the American people. The president is just trying to assure that the American people get a fair deal while simultaneously ensuring we have access to some minerals and resources that are very important for the economy of the future.
If Zelenskyy changes his posture, his focus, his gratefulness, as you guys have talked about, would there be a consideration of bringing the aid back on, or is that an indefinite pause, a long-term pause? Do you see it?
No, look, the president has been very clear he wants the Ukrainians to come to the negotiating table. I think when the Ukrainians come to the negotiating table, everything is on the table.
What about the pressure on Russia?
President Zelenskyy?
Look, I think the most important thing, a lot of people have made this about public statements. President Zelenskyy needs to say that he's committed to the peace, or President Zelenskyy needs to apologize to the president. The public stuff doesn't matter nearly as much as what are the Ukrainians doing to meaningfully engage on what a peaceful settlement would look like. We need the Ukrainians privately to come to us and say, this is what we need, this is what we want, this is how we're going to participate in the process to end this conflict. That is the most important thing, and that lack of private engagement is what is most concerning to us.
So far, it looks like a lot of pressure on Ukraine, but not much pressure on Russia. Do you expect to do maybe more sanctions on Russia or any other steps to pressure both sides if you want to have them on a negotiation table?
Well, I don't think that's right, actually. I mean, we still have a number of sanctions that are placed on the Russians. We do believe that the Russians economically are struggling because of this conflict. We do believe that it's in Russia's best interest, but also Ukraine and the United States' best interest to bring this conflict to a close. So we believe in applying pressure to everybody to stop the killing, because that's what the president's policy is, and that's what's in the best interest of the American people.
President, you characterized it as a deal being a long way away. You just said if the Ukrainians came privately to the negotiating table, I could get things moving. What are we talking about timeline here? Like, how fast can we get things back on?
President Trump said that, or President Zelenskyy said
that? I believe that President Trump had characterized it as being a deal being a long way away.
So I know that President Zelenskyy said that, but what I think the president has said is that we can make a deal. The Russians can't continue this thing forever. The Ukrainians can't continue it forever. And most importantly, the United States can't continue it forever. Look, there are a lot of details to be worked out. There are a lot of questions about territory, about everything else. We want to have that conversation. We're not saying that we're committed to one pathway or another. We're just saying you can't even bring the peace to the forefront if the Ukrainians aren't willing to negotiate in good faith. And right now, they haven't been able to, haven't been willing to. Hopefully that changes.
Do you think that European peacekeepers are a non-starter for the Kremlin? Do you think that could realistically be a part of the solution, or no?
I won't speak for the Kremlin. I don't know what is a non-starter or not for the Kremlin. I know that obviously, and we appreciate this, the British and the French have offered to step up in a big way. That's very, very important. But fundamentally, the question of what's a non-starter for this or that party, that's part of the negotiated settlement we have to come to. We can't even really start that negotiated process in earnest until the Ukrainians, led by President Zelenskyy, come to the table.
What do you need to see from Canada in terms of...
Go ahead, man. Yeah.
Mr. Colby has said in the past that the U.S. could tolerate or contain a nuclear armed Iran. How is that consistent with the president's maximum pressure policy?
Well, number one, the president's been very clear he doesn't want to tolerate a nuclear armed Iran. And I don't know what Mr. Colby has written in the past, but I'll say that every single person that we nominate to a position is going to have at least one thing that they disagree with the president about. That's okay, but the president's policy is extremely clear. We cannot tolerate nuclear proliferation, especially in Iran. That will be the policy of the administration. It has been, and it was during the first Trump administration.
What do you need to see from Canada to roll back these tariffs?
Look, the president's going to have conversations with the Canadians. We need to see real engagement on the fentanyl issue, on the drug issue. That is fundamentally the underlying element of these tariffs, is we think the Canadians have not been serious about stopping the drug trade. Now, people will sometimes say, well, if you look at the numbers, the Mexicans send way more fentanyl into the United States than the Canadians do. The Canadians have allowed a lot of fentanyl to come into the country. It's not a defense to say more has come from Mexico, because way too much has come from Mexico too. Great. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, letting the press have it. It's definitely a new administration. We're so used to people running from press, running from questions, or just saying, well, Trump's a mean orange man. That's usually what they say. JD Vance letting him know how he really feels. And then, of course, the press saying, well, how come you're not putting pressure on Russia? Because Russia's ready to come to the table. That's why. Now, I don't know why JD Vance didn't say that. However, he did say something that I thought was a little humorous. He said, the public stuff is getting out of hand, and it doesn't matter as much as what the Ukrainians are doing. What's being said in the public eye is not very important compared to the moves they're actually making, which I could see him saying that. But when they were in the Oval Office, his big deal was, you're not thankful enough. You're not saying thank you to President Trump in front of all these cameras. So it was like it was important for public opinion then, but now not so much. And so I thought that was kind of humorous, just pointing that out. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. So I'm just saying. But I also understand the message he's trying to say, right? Like, yeah, the publicity's great and all, but we need to actually have serious talks behind closed doors where people aren't letting their egos get in the way because there's cameras here and we all want to look like, big up people and whatever. But I just thought it was funny, just a little comparison there compared to how it was in the Oval Office last week versus, what it's being said today. But either way, JD Vance still out here killing it. Next up, bill to bear is what it sounded like I was saying. Bill to ban shape-shifting athletes from girls and women's sports teams fails to advance in the Senate. Now, I swear President Trump signed an EO on this, so I thought that meant it didn't have to go through the Senate. But apparently I was wrong, or this is something different somehow. I don't really know, but all of a sudden now they're going to let dudes in women's sports is what it sounds like. And that doesn't make sense to me. Either way, it's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you all going to think about JD Vance and his little hallway press conference he just had right there. Turbo, is that Riley from Boondocks? I don't know why that girl looked so distraught. She was just sitting there all mad. She said, JD out here making sense and stuff. I don't know why she looked like that. Russell, JD speaking the truth? I think so. Hill, I heard that in the Ukraine, the women to male ratio is 20-1. I wouldn't be surprised. They're sending all of their males out there to die in the war. Snooks, love JD? Yeah. He's doing pretty good. What's up, bullshiz? Happy freedom to you. Happy Touch Her Titty Tuesday. Only if she lets you, bullshiz. What's up, Turtle Mom? Happy freedom to you. Oh, I'll check it out, Fresca Bean. Thank you for letting me know. Matthew, Vance is on fire. Oh, I should have did the thing. I didn't even think about it. You're right, Matthew. Appeal to Evan, Vance versus Pence, Battle Royale, Deathmatch, who wins? Oh, I think Vance is way better than Pence. But I'm kind of biased. We were all sitting here for J6. We know how it all went. Appeal to Heaven. Who's the little girl in the background? I see she was getting a lot of attention for somebody sitting there scowling. What's up, Puffin Stuff? Happy freedom to you. SOS, Z only has one statement. Me billionaire, me security, me VIP. Yep. It's just a little guy. What's up, Cody? Happy freedom to you. Pumpkin, JD wants to apply pressure to everyone. Now that sounds a little eccentric there. Sounds a little explicit. I think you're right, Pumpkin. Bill Clay, JD Vance sounding like a true leader. Yeah, he asked for questions and they had him. That's how you know that people look up to JD Vance. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had questions. He'd have come out and been like, well, I'll take your questions. They're like, nah, we're good. We're good. We don't need to hear any more out of you, buddy. So that's how you know that he's doing good because, they had multiple questions. He stood there. He answered all of them till they didn't have any left. And then he wrapped it up. And so I think the administration's kicking ass. Turtle Mom, shoulders getting better. Glad to hear it. What's up, Tron? Happy freedom to you. What is the blue badge? I've never seen a blue badge. Oh, you're in the creator program. That's badass, Tron. Congratulations getting in the program. I wanted to apply, but I don't use the Rumble Studio. I use Streamlabs, so I don't think I was eligible to apply. Congratulations to you. Lisa, if Trump puts his trust in Vance as someone that could run the country, that's all I need to know. Yeah, Lisa, and that's what President Trump said before he even picked Vance, that whoever he picks for the VP will be somebody that he thinks would be a good president someday. And I didn't know anything about J.D. Vance, but when he said that, I was leaning in to try and learn more about him, and I mean, he seems pretty good so far. What's up, Jay Blazer? What's up, Harley Davidson? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Melba Toast? Happy freedom to you. Nice to have an eloquent VP again. I agree. Vinny, Vance Gabbard 2028. That would be interesting. DeMarquise, JD Vance got more eyeliner on than a female cop. I don't know. I brought it up last time. When was last time? Free Speech Saturday, I think, was the last time we were live. And there was a lot of people who say that they either had the same kind of eyes or they had kids that had the same kind of eyes. So I think it's a little bit more common than people realize. But I've always wondered that too, if he's got eyeliner on. And maybe he does. What if other people, they just got those eyes, but he's enhancing them, right? He's drawing the little circles and stuff on his eyes. We won't know until he goes swimming. So we got to tell him, you got to go underwater. We want to know. You got eyeliner on, buddy? Like a rock star. Kevin, don't ever why can't I say it? Don't ever back talk mom, dad would bounce you by the ears to your room. See, when I was younger, talking back to my mom equaled a knuckle sandwich. You only get punched in the mouth one time as a child. You don't do that anymore. You don't do that at all. I learned really quickly, as fast as she could throw those hands. Anyways, like I said, this next one is bill to ban shape-shifting athletes from girls and women's sports teams fails to advance in the Senate. Now, again, I'm kind of confused on all of this, and maybe you hooligans can fill me in, but I swear that the EO made it so we didn't have to go through these stages. So I don't really know. I'm kind of confused. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommentTube, and let's get into this.
Legislation to ban transgender women and girls from competing in female sports failed to advance in the Senate, as Democrats blocked the measure in a 51-45 vote. The bill aimed to amend Title IX by defining protections based solely on a person's reproductive biology and genetics at birth. Republicans argue the move is necessary to protect fairness in women's athletics, with Senate Majority Leader John Thune saying men, biological men who identify as women, are taking up spaces and medals meant for actual women. The House had already passed similar legislation, but the Senate rejection highlights the challenge Republicans face in turning Trump's executive order on the issue into law. Last month, Trump signed an order directing federal agencies to enforce Title IX based on biological sex at birth. Following that, the NCAA changed its policy, limiting women's sports participation to athletes assigned female at birth. Democrats dismissed the bill as a distraction and federal overreach. Senator Brian Schatz called it a manufactured culture war, while Senator Tammy Baldwin argued sports leagues, not Congress, should decide participation rules. Despite the setback, the issue remains a Republican priority. Polls show a majority of voters believe support for transgender rights has gone too far. GOP-led efforts continue at the state level, with Minnesota lawmakers debating a similar bill. LGBTQ+ rights groups condemn the legislation. Kelly Robinson, president of the Human Rights Campaign, said the bill sends the message that transgender kids don't deserve the same opportunities to thrive as their peers. With sports policies already shifting at the federal level, the fight over transgender participation in athletics is far from over.
For more stories just like these, be sure to subscribe to the...
Okay. Now, I thought when President Trump EO'd dudes will no longer be allowed in women's sports, I thought that was a done deal. So I don't really understand this. This seems very redundant. And it didn't pass. And so in some situation or form, they're going to allow dudes to be in women's sports. And all Democrats voted for it. I seen a post on X that was talking about how Democrats told you President Trump was going to take away women's rights. They told you that President Trump was going to, it was bad for women and that women hate President Trump. And then they turned around and did that. The damn Democrats, they just lie, cheat, and steal. If they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. Next up, Trudeau slams President Trump over tariffs, saying very dumb thing to do. The Canadian Prime Minister, or whatever he is, went on TV, gave a lengthy speech, and right in the middle of it, he had a message directly for President Trump. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this bill to ban shapeshifters from female sports has failed in the Senate. Alistair, EOs aren't law. He signed the EO, but it has to pass through the House and Senate to become law. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Alistair. Yeah, see, that sucks that it got shot down. That's sucky. That is sucky. Yeah, I see, Russell. Thank you for letting me know. Matt Rogers, crack me up. Tron, Rumble Studio is amazing. They pay you to read commercials. Yeah, Tron, that's why I was going to use Rumble Studio. And I set up Rumble Studio to go live, and we were going to show, I think, the very first presidential debate, where it was President Trump versus Old Man Walter. And right before it started, Rumble got hit with a DDoS attack. So not only could I not go live on Rumble, but I couldn't go live on the 6 other platforms that I go live on. So they completely screwed me on the debate night. And so I had to quick change everything over, build a new live, and run like that. And I've been a little skittish about trying Rumble Studio again because I can't deal with them having a DDoS attack every time I need to show an important live. Now, it's not Rumble's fault that they got attacked, but I just need more. I need to use something that's not targeted as hardcore as Rumble is. So I'll think about it again. Turtle Mom, if I talk back to anyone, my grandma would whip me with a willow switch. That's how I got treated when I was a kid. Bill Clay, EOs are effective until another president overturns it. Well, I guess it's a whole big process that I didn't even realize. I thought EOs were just, bam, he signed it, it goes. This is how it is now. I didn't realize it had to go through the Senate and all of that. Totally care. Whatever happened to the women's rights movement? They're too busy screaming from the rivers to the seas right now. They're out there being pro-Hamas protesters. They're too busy to put on their vagina hats. Stoner, I don't want to lose an hour of sleep. Is daylight savings coming up? I thought President Trump was talking about doing away with that. There's like 2 states, and then I think all of Canada or something doesn't participate in it. It's something like that. March 9th. So in 5 days. Let's see. Spring, so we're springing forward. Yeah, so we're going to lose an hour. Well, damn, that sucks because we just started getting daylight after 5 o'clock, and now it's going to be dark again because the clock's moving forward. Pumpkin, it'll pass eventually, I hope. Well, isn't it just dead now because it didn't pass the Senate? Bill Clay, EOs do not have to go through the House and Senate, only to become a law. Now I'm really confused. What? I don't know what to say back to that. So President Trump signed an EO to make it so dudes can't be in female sports. The Senate said no. So is it a thing or is it not a thing? Can dudes play in women's sports, but it's not a law? Is that how it's just a recommendation? I feel like we're getting into semantics here. It's a mandate. Like during the lockdowns. Matt Rogers, Arizona and Hawaii do not or don't do daylight savings time. See, I think we should get away from it too. Alistair, it's the other way around. It'll stay light longer. Well, good. Good. I don't need any more depression in my life, I tell you. I remember seeing the sun. I remember what that was like. At least I'd have been murdered if I talked back. Yeah. Kids were raised differently back then. I mean, at least they weren't cutting our wieners off. You know, the new days aren't that great, but still. What's up, Ron? Happy freedom to you. DeMarquis Bud Light savings time. I think you're right. DeMarquis, he was short-tempered. Yeah. He was a little frustrated. Alistair, the feds say no, so it's not a thing. Yeah, so dudes can play in women's sports. Weird. Bill Clay, men cannot play in women's sports. Look, everyone's got a different opinion. This is why things need to be more clear. I don't know. I'm in the middle on it. Pumpkin, they could bring it back. Yeah. All right, hooligans. We're going to move forward here. Like I said, this next one is Trudeau from Canada. Supposedly slams President Trump over tariffs, saying this is a very dumb thing to do. Whatever you say, guy. Now, we're only going to play a section of this. I don't want to hear this guy talk any longer than I have to. Can't stand him. Super flamboyant. I had to deal with old man Walter's shit for 4 years. I don't want to hear this guy. Anyways, he thought he was being slick, giving his little speech, and then having a direct message for President Trump. Too bad he sounds so flamboyant. Ain't nobody scared of him. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Now I want to speak directly to one specific American, Donald. In the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. We signed a historic deal that has created record jobs and growth in both of our countries. We've done big things together on the world stage, as Canada and the US have done together for decades, for generations. And now we should be working together to ensure even greater prosperity for North Americans in a very uncertain and challenging world. Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do. We two friends fighting is exactly what our opponents around the world want to see. And now, to my fellow Canadians.
Okay. Now, I don't really care that he was speaking directly to the president, but I don't really like that he called him Donald. What is Trudeau's first name? Justin? Listen, Justin. Like, that's stupid. That is petty, just rudeness right there to do that. Like, if President Trump goes out there and just calls him a bitch, then what? Everyone's going to be outraged? I don't know. You know President Trump, he's got to one-up him, so he's going to call him Donald and not the Don. He didn't kiss the ring. So, well, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure President Trump will have a response. Maybe he'll do it today in front of God and everybody while the whole world's watching. I don't know. It sounds like Trudeau's signing up for the message there if he wants it. Next up, taking immediate action. We'll find out who the ICE raid leakers are, says Tom Homan. Now, Tom Homan's going to be kind of saying the same old, same old. He's going to be holding people accountable. We're going to get rid of the illegals. Now, he mentions that ICE has removed 30,000 illegals, which is good, but it's far away from 25 million that are here in the country. We have yet to see AOC or any other elected official actually be held accountable for teaching illegals how to evade ICE. But he's back, and he's making more promises. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Trudeau talking that shit to President Trump. Guess, says the guy who never ran a business. Trudeau's never had a business? Maybe that's why Canada's going the way it is. Alistair. Donald, them's fighting words. Time to invade Canada. Yeah. The Canadians are going to let us through the border, just like the police officers allowed everyone into the Capitol on J6. You like that? Alistair, they also fired a bunch of people that leaked the ICE raids. Yeah. Kristi Noem was firing those people, but that's it. You know, and I mean, that's fine. At least they're at least doing that. But when you got like AOC giving webinars on how to evade ICE, that's against the law. Like, I don't know. Teaching classes on how to break the law, especially federal laws, and then they just let it slide. And now the protesters are doing it. Schools have been doing it for months now, and they're just letting it happen. But then he goes on TV and he goes, we're not going to let them do that. What do you mean? You're letting them do it every day. They're like doing interviews on TV. They're like, yeah, we're handing out little red cards that tell everyone how to evade ICE. That person on the screen, go catch them. Like, I don't know. They can catch J6ers that were completely clothed from head to toe. You couldn't even tell what the skin color was. They can catch those guys. But they can't catch people that are teaching illegals to evade ICE. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Matthew Justina. Only on the weekends. Pumpkin, he hurt my feelings. Oh, we're going to have to get him. Pumpkin, shame on Justin Trudeau. Absolutely. We're going to have to shame him. Julie, happy freedom to you. Trump called him Judy. I don't think that, I don't know. I haven't heard of him calling Trudeau Judy, but yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He signed up for it. Jeb, I bet Trudeau wears thongs. Yep, I bet you're right. Wears them backwards, too. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you. Non-woke Trudeau has no issue with making his own citizens suffer. Yeah, I've never met a Canadian that actually likes Trudeau. Sage Puppy, sound like an upset girlfriend. He did. He did. Tony Riz, how dare this Canadian bitch? I know. He shouldn't have been talking like that. Appeal to Heaven, Candace pissed about the tariffs. Yeah, they'll be all right. Sage Pop, we had quite a romantic moment, Donald. Yeah. I don't know why he thought that was the move. He's like, I'm going to call him by his first name. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know President Trump's really clever, and everybody over here loves making memes. America makes 90% of all media that is existent in the world. That includes memes. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder what's on X right now. What's up, Sausage King? Happy freedom to you. Pumpkin, they always talk about daylight savings every year, but they never do it. Yeah. I think they need to do away with it. I don't understand why we have it. I know it used to have purpose, but I don't think it has much purpose now. Julie, no, he should call him Judy. I think you're right. Like I said, he might say it today. He's going to be live in about 2 hours. So, we'll see if he's got a response. Shroomish, it's just like I've never met a Californian who likes new scum, but I live in San Jose Bay Area, and it's a pretty liberal place. Yeah, Shroomish. It's weird how these people keep getting elected and stuff. It's like AOC. How does she keep her job? Or like Omar, the one that like married her brother or whatever. Like how does she get to keep her job? What's up, Contempt? Happy freedom. What's up, Red Wagon? What's up, Doc? Happy freedom. Yeah, no, I know. We got lots of hooligans that are Canadians and stuff. We know that Trudeau doesn't speak for Canadians. He just speaks on his own behalf and his boyfriend. Tactical. Buck around and find out. Yeah, he's about to get to the later half, maybe later today. DeMarquise, Trump is the best nicknamer. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He's going to get a name today. He's getting a new label. Steve S. Treason should be a matter of the FBI. What is Cash going to do? I don't think they're really considering people teaching illegals to evade ICE as treason. I mean, if it's an elected official, you would think that it would be. But they're trying to get them for like aiding and abetting an illegal and not specifically treason. Ben, she's teaching them how to exercise their rights. No, she's not. No, she's not. She's teaching them to evade ICE. They only have human rights. They do not have citizen rights. They don't have the right to free speech or any of that kind of shit. They got to do this shit on the outside of the wall. They don't have the right to an attorney. They don't have the right to shit. They just don't. They have human rights. They have the right to not be gunned down. They have the right to not be tortured and things like that. But that's about it. That's about it. Get the fuck on that side of the wall. You be all right. You know, and that's what they should be doing instead of testing ICE. You know, instead of being like, oh, well, I'm going to get arrested. It'll be okay. What if it's not? Every agency's got a bad egg. You don't want to be caught with the bad egg. And, like, you don't want that. So they should just go ahead and get the hell out of the country. They're a bunch of criminals just by being here. What's up, Little Eagle? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Anthony Wheeler? Happy freedom to you. Trudeau. What's up, Wrestler Town? Happy freedom. The confusing thing about the EO and the proposed law was just that they happen at the same time, which caused people to conflate them as the same thing, but they are fundamentally different. That's what I was wondering. Thank you for bringing that up. I was wondering if they were different things. Guess thank you. They do not have constitutional rights. But the dumb liberals out there don't know the difference. They're like, rights are rights. Nah, no they're not. No they're not. Go talk to anybody living in a foreign country. Rights are not rights. We are not all built the same. Like, not at all. Human rights are different. But, you know, you got to Google. You got to read some shit. And, well, idiots don't like reading. So, you know, it is what it is. Either way, next up, we got Tom Homan. I really like Tom Homan, but man, I'd really like to see him actually do the thing. Go do the thing. It's titled, Taking Immediate Action. We'll find out who the ICE raid leakers are. Homan vows. Now, he sounds really good, but like I said, they keep bringing up the stupid AOC thing, and I'm like, don't bring it up. If you're not going to do anything about AOC teaching illegals to break the law even further, then just don't bring it up, because we're holding it against you, Tom Homan. We are. You made promises. These promises are not kept. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
AOC was referring directly to you. What's your response?
Well, she needs to understand this country gave President Trump a mandate, and President Trump's carrying out that mandate. We're going to keep President Trump's promise. He promised to make our communities safer, especially against illegal aliens who are public safety threats. And that's why we're prioritizing the worst first. This is exactly what we're doing. I looked at the numbers this morning. ICE has taken just about 30,000 people off the streets of this country that were in the country illegally in a public safety threat. What I've asked the Department of Justice to do is give clear guidelines. And when do you cross the line? When you're educating criminal aliens how to invade law enforcement, at what point do you cross that line of impediment? I've asked for clear guidance so we can give it to the ICE agents so they can perform within the existence of the law. What she needs to understand, why she says she's educating people to the constitutional rights, she's actually telling people how to evade law enforcement. And because of that, the last operation in New York City, a lot of people weren't opening their doors. A lot of people were hiding based on so-called education from various members of Congress. We're talking about child rapists that we weren't able to apprehend because they took an advice from people, how to evade law enforcement. A member of Congress, all these members of Congress that we're talking about, they've said during the Biden administration, the millions of people had a right to claim asylum. They got a right to see a judge. They got a right to due process. But 90% of them will lose their case, get order removed. So there is no due process if the final decision of the court isn't executed, which means the 90% get order removed, they must be removed. And any member of Congress who wants to prevent ICE from doing the job and enforce law that was enacted by Congress, they passed this law, ICE isn't making it up, let us do our job. They had their due process, they've been order removed, don't stand in our way. We need to execute the final orders removal, or there's no due process at all in this country. So we're going to stand by the law, we're going to enforce law, and we're going to do it without apology.
But it is continuing. activists continue to warn and instruct illegal migrants on expected ICE activity. They're tipping off the illegals. What can you do about the leaks? Because somebody is telling the activists where you are and who you're raiding.
When we find out who they are, not only they'll be unemployed, they're going to be prosecuted. We're taking this seriously. Look, the danger of ICE agents, the danger they face every day, to arrest the worst of the worst, that's what we're concentrating on. It's already a dangerous job. It's a matter of time before one of these leaks causes an ambush, either by a member of TDA, MS-13, one of these groups that just don't care. They would take pride in the fact that they killed an ICE agent or another law enforcement officer. We're going to hold these people accountable. We're pulling out all stops. The Inspector General's involved. Secretary Noem, she's got her staff involved. I got people involved. When we find out who they are, and we will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. They're putting our agents in great danger. And it's only a matter of time before one of our officers will not go home to their families at night because of these leaks. We're taking immediate action.
You are Speaker Mike Johnson's guest tonight for Mr. Trump's speech. You're going to be sitting next to the Speaker, I believe, or certainly very close to him. You're going to be a star tonight, Tom Homan.
Look, I'm not the star, Barney. The men and women wearing that green uniform, they're the star. They got illegal immigration and border crossing down to 97% in 3 weeks. The stars are the men and women of ICE and U.S. Marshals and ATF and DEA and FBI, all these task forces out there arresting bad guys. They're the champions out there. But look, none of this happens. The border numbers are down 97%. Why? Because President Trump is a strong president. He made executive decisions. He wrote a series of executive orders. He needs to take full credit for the success on the border in interior enforcement operations because he opened that aperture up. He let Border Patrol do what they need to do and enforce the laws. He's letting ICE do what they do and enforce the law. God bless President Trump. I've said it 100 times. I'll keep saying it. He proves to me every day why he's the greatest president in my lifetime. He proves it every day, and I'm honored to be in the same building, in the same room with President Trump because he's making America safe again.
And you were his first nominee the day he was re-elected. I remember it well. Tom Homan, thanks for being on our program tonight. We'll be looking for you tonight at the speech. Thank you, Tom.
All right, like I said, it's a little bit of the same old, telling us he's going to, continue doing the mass deportations, even though they're only at 30,000 right now, and that they're going to figure out who these leakers are and they're going to hold them accountable. But the thing is the last people who were leaking stuff, they just got fired. They didn't get prosecuted. They weren't charged with crimes. They were just fired. They were just terminated and go away. That was all that happened. So now they're making claims that they're going to actually hold these people accountable in a legal manner by pressing charges against them. We'll see. We'll see if they actually do that. They need to do something with the elected officials that are helping this move along here. These sanctuary city people like AOC doing the webinar to teach people how to evade ICE and all of that. If he went and arrested those people, the little people would not be so gung-ho to go do it. Right? Protesters are going to do whatever. Half of them are smoking meth. So, what do crackheads know? They don't know anything. They just do whatever they want. They behave emotionally. You can't do anything about that. But elected officials, people at schools, people that are running businesses and stuff, you can hold them accountable. They're a lot easier to find. And so I think if he worked from the top up instead of the bottom, or the top down instead of the bottom up, he'd get a lot more done because people would be afraid that they're going to be held accountable. That's what makes people act like shitheads, is when they don't think accountability is coming. When they think they're going to get away with it or that it's all good to go and it's all okay to do, they'll keep doing it. It will spread. More and more people would do it. But if you hold them accountable, less people will do it. If every person that steals gets arrested, less people will steal, right? This is real common sense here. And so instead of allowing this to continue, they need to do something about these elected officials that are trying to protect illegals. That's a crime. Hold them accountable. Either way, next up we got Caroline Leavitt sends message to Dems planning to disrupt Trump's address tonight. She's going to be discussing what to expect from tonight's live that's coming up in about 2 hours, 2 hours, right? Hour and 45 minutes, something like that. Either way, it's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Tom Homan. Guess because they're not harboring, aiding, they can only be charged with impeding an investigation, which is a misdemeanor. Well, either way, slap them with the misdemeanors then. Put them in jail for 90 days. Like, that's enough. That's the thing. That's enough. Even if they did a weekend in jail. A lot of people don't want to do a weekend in jail. So just that would be enough, let alone 90 days. So, I don't know. Doing something is better than doing nothing, in my opinion. Russell, you're all under arrest. That's right. Russell, lock AOC up and take her out of the equation. Yeah. Like I'm saying, things would change. Appeal to heaven, agreed. Common sense, these wackos. Yeah, seeing protesters do that kind of stuff isn't very surprising. But when you see schools doing it and elected officials doing it, that's too much. That's too much. They're supposed to be representing us, but also leading by example. And so if they're allowing local leaders to break the law or to, encourage lawbreakers to continue breaking the law, somebody needs to do something about that. SOS, Homan can get the border right. Very tough job. Well, they've already locked the border down. It's the people who are inside that are still causing problems. Jeb, anyone know how to use these ice drop boxes outside of the gas stations? You got to get the key. I know that. Depends where you're at. Sage Pup, the alphabet agencies have been weaponized for so long that there's so much resistance within the DOJ. Yeah, I totally believe that. Send. It's supposed to start at 9 o'clock. And I don't even think it's a State of the Union address. If it is, that's not what they're calling it. It just says President Trump addresses joint session of Congress. Is that what it is? Is it a State of the Union address? And they just gave it a new label? Jay Spray, I really need to see this administration complete something that they said they would. Well, they did lock the border down. They didn't really prevent dudes from women's sports, which is something I specifically voted for. Trying to think what else. He made a lot of promises, and it's still early on. He's still got a lot of time to fix things, but yeah, the resistance sucks. Like the ending birthright citizenship, that all sounded really good when it was loud. Now there's a bunch of judges and a bunch of random people who are suing, and it doesn't look like that's going to go through either. The whole ending birthright citizenship. Pumpkin, she wouldn't spend 15 minutes in jail. No, she would cry. Cry hard. Appeal to heaven, has anyone seen any arrests being made? I've seen videos of people being arrested, but I haven't seen raids happening personally. I don't know anybody that's seen any raids happen personally. Turtle Mom, stop talking about it and do it. Yeah. It's almost the same speech every time he does an interview. Fresca Bean, does Carrie Lake's nomination need to be confirmed by the Senate? I don't know. What was she nominated for? I kind of remember something about her being selected for something, but I don't remember now. Sausage King, not a State of the Union address. He's supposedly going to say we're out of NATO. Interesting. Duh, and he's going to tell NATO to get ducked. I was not expecting that. Sage Pup, I don't know if I can say it, but you guys can say it. I can't say it on the live. That's badass, Alistair. Damn, we might have to make t-shirts out of this. Look at that. It's badass. It's super badass. Hey, thanks for being here, Russell. I hope you have a good night. Viola. The speech is not technically a State of the Union address because Trump was sworn in just weeks ago, although it serves the same purpose. The president will outline his domestic agenda and foreign policy for his second term. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Viola. At least I want a tattoo. Go get a tattoo. I want more tattoos also. I don't have the funds or the time for it, though. Lisa, if we don't prosecute treason, it'll never stop. It's true. Wrestlertown, yeah, I hear you. DeMarquise, I saw Dr. Phil arrest one. Well, we played that video. I don't think Dr. Phil actually did the arresting, but he did interview the guy. And the guy knew who he was. He said he saw him from TV. Vinny, sometimes I think it's all a stage. Yeah, I feel that way sometimes too. A lot of times I have to just wait and see how things go. If I say stuff like that out loud, a lot of times people will turn their back on me. But yeah, sometimes I feel that way too. Anthony, yes, please. Will Tom Homan visit Portland? I mean, they should. I've been waiting for him to go to different places here in Michigan, too. I think they were talking about going to Dearborn, but they need to go to Muskegon and places like that. Guess, invite all your illegal friends over to party. Call ICE and video it. It'll go viral. That's true, guess, it would. I don't have any illegal friends, though. All my friends are, they're legal. they're the legal kind. Anyways, we're going to get into this next video. This is Caroline Leavitt sends message to Dems planning to disrupt Trump's address. Now, we didn't get no press briefing today, but we got the press secretary, and, you know, it's good enough. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the Commie Tube, and let's get into this.
Americans can expect Donald Trump to say many things that are false, including perhaps Russian information. What we will not hear from Donald Trump, however, is the truth.
We know that he's going to lie, that he's going to be completely divorced from reality in terms of what he describes.
That State of the Union speech is going to be a farce. I think it's going to be a MAGA pep rally.
We can make sure the American people understand that this man is not keeping the promises that have a real impact in their lives.
Exactly. We always take our cues from them. Ilhan Omar, tonight, President Trump set to address a joint session of Congress, and Democrats are plotting their resistance with plans to disrupt it, I guess. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt joins us right now in studio. Caroline, first off, your first mini State of the Union speech to the joint session of Congress. What's the mindset of the staff and the president?
We're so excited. It's a big day and it's a big night for President Trump, and we know he's going to give a fantastic speech. The theme is the renewal of the American dream, and the renewal of the American dream is underway already. Look at all that President Trump has accomplished in his first month as president. He's going to highlight some of those accomplishments. He's also going to talk about his plans to fix the economic mess that was created and left for him by Joe Biden in his administration. He's going to dive into foreign policy, talk about his intention to end the war in Ukraine, talk about his plan to bring all of the hostages out of Gaza home. And he's also going to make an ask of Congress tonight. We need more border funding to continue with these deportations that have been incredibly successful because of the efforts of this administration, but we need more resources.
Separate from the bills that they're working on in the House and Senate?
Look, the president has been engaged in those negotiations, as you know, with both members of the House and also on the Senate side, too. He's expressed his intention is one big, beautiful bill, but he wants to get the deal done. And you will hear him talk about how Border Patrol and DHS need more funding. We need to deport the tens of millions of illegal criminals who the previous administration led into our country. The administration is doing everything they can, and those deportation efforts are underway. But certainly we need more resources, and we need more men and women who want to join this historic effort.
All right. So also you have recruiting up. We get those numbers in December and January. That's got to be encouraging. But tonight at the speech itself, there's going to be some special guests, some of which you can reveal.
Yeah.
Looks like the First Lady will have a big roster, including Stephanie Diller.
Yes.
And that is one of the themes. People, law enforcement whose spouses lost their lives in the line of duty.
Yeah, the First Lady will be in attendance tonight, and the guest list that she put together and President Trump put together is phenomenal. There will be everyday American heroes in attendance. Stephanie Diller, whom you mentioned, who lost her husband in the line of duty at the hands of an illegal immigrant. You have Mark Fogel, who, of course, because of President Trump's peace through strength efforts, returned from Russian captivity. Corey Comparator, who lost his life protecting his family in Butler, Pennsylvania. You'll also have an auto worker. You'll have a steel worker, and you will see exceptional Americans with great stories. President Trump will be telling their stories.
Right. I know you mentioned Elon Musk will be there.
Yes.
Staff advisors will be there. The secretaries will be there. You also mentioned there's special guests. And you gave me the idea that perhaps you might weaken and tell me who those surprise guests are. Have you decided if you're going to tell me?
I have decided I am not going to tell you. I will let President Trump tell the country later. But there are going to be some very special guests that the president will reveal in his speech. And I also want to mention there will be the mothers of Jocelyn Nungare and Laken Riley, who will be in attendance tonight, who, of course, lost their daughters at the hands of illegal migrant immigrants. And that's what part of the reason President Trump is working so hard on these deportations and why Congress and Democrats need to get on board with this effort, because the vast majority of Americans are supportive of it.
The border's almost virtually shut down. No one expected this type of success, even better than the first time. So now, yesterday, the president announced a pause in Ukraine aid. Could a call from President Zelenskyy today change that?
Well, that's up to President Trump to decide. What I do know is that President Trump wants to make a deal. And unfortunately, it has appeared thus far that President Zelenskyy is unwilling to talk about a real peace agreement. And in order to negotiate peace, you've got to bring both sides to the table. And in any good deal, in business, in politics, usually both sides leave a little bit unhappy. And I think President Zelenskyy, unfortunately, is failing to realize that at this moment in time. But look, the president is a deal maker, and that's what he wants to do. He wants this war to end. He wants to stop the killing. He wants to see a ceasefire. And he had an economic agreement on the table, on a silver platter for President Zelenskyy to sign at the White House last Friday, which wouldn't have just been an economic agreement. It would have been a lifeline for President Zelenskyy and his country. If you have, American companies and American miners exploring for those rare earth minerals in Ukraine, that serves as an incredible deterrent to Putin and to Russia. And unfortunately, that deal wasn't signed because President Zelenskyy did not come into the Oval Office with the right mindset.
But he has said he would sign it now.
Well, we'll have to see.
Okay. Carolyn, I don't know when you rest, because I saw you last night and then I'm watching you today, but you look wide awake and you're ready to go. Are you liking the job?
I love the job, and I'm looking forward to the speech tonight. Everybody should tune in. It will be must-see
How long
TV.
will it be?
About an hour, but who knows? It could always go a little bit longer. We have great guests with great stories to tell.
Does the president worried about disruptions?
No, I don't think we're worried about that. I think, frankly, the Democrats should think about if they should stand up and applause for some of the things President Trump will be talking about. He's bringing common sense back to this country. Look at Democrats yesterday. 45 Senate Dems voted against keeping men out of women's sports. How can you be against that when 80% of the country is for it? So
it is crazy for them to reject what the House
You'll
passed.
hear a lot of common sense tonight.
Caroline, thanks so much. Every time you speak, I hear common sense, and you
Thanks,
seem to
Brian.
really adjust to the press room.
All right, Caroline Levitt letting us know what to expect from President Trump's speech in about an hour and a half coming up. Now, that is the last little bit of the news I have for you hooligans today, and we got fun stuff coming up. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Caroline Levitt and everything she was talking about for tonight's speech, as well as what President Trump's been dealing with as far as Zelenskyy and all of that. Thank you for letting me know, Snooks. Yeah, we just had back-to-back trolls on Rumble. Somebody's sitting there mad. I don't know. They're probably ripping their man pawn out of themselves right now out of anger. They had to rage quit. They had to rage quit Rumble. Try and talk that shit. Stupid. So stupid. There was some liberal on YouTube, and I'm wondering if that's what happened, if they moved over to Rumble. What an idiot. I don't know why people do that. I've never understood trolling. You come to say something stupid in the chat, and 2 seconds later you get banned and nobody even remembers that you existed. It's dumb. Good trolling is worth it. Good trolling is pretty entertaining. Piss poor trolling? Nah. 2 seconds of fun. It's not worth it. Yeah, some typical woman could go longer. Yeah, you missed the trolls. They weren't very good, though. They were all mad that my name's on my shirt, but it made me happy because they know my name. So that was it. They were just like, hey, I know your name. And I was like, bam, hit it with the hammer. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Non-woke Democrats have elected incompetent people for far too long. Yeah, well, they're not just incompetent. They're toxic. They're super toxic. Blame other people for their problems and things that they did wrong. Lie, cheat, and steal the whole damn time. And when they're being stupid, it's 50-50 whether they're just pretending to be stupid, they're just playing dumb, or they're just genuinely stupid. It's hard to tell, but there's never anything that good, that comes from a Democrat leader. Democrat voters, in a lot of cases, are just people that have been duped. People that have been tricked into believing things that are just simply not true. But Democrat leaders are liars and manipulators, bad people, kid fuckers, people like that. So, yeah, tis what tis. And it tain't what it tain't. Oh, is that true? I didn't know. You good boy. Yeah, you gonna speak in the mic? You gonna let them know? They're turning the frickin' frogs gay. Klaus Daniels knows. You good boy. You gotta go sit down. You have a seat. We're about to do the fun stuff. Yes. Goodness. I missed the action. If you hang out long enough, maybe they'll show some more up. They're probably making new accounts right now. Sage Pop, I think my ex-father-in-law was half troll. It could be. It could be. You never know. What's up, Rich? Happy for him to you. What's up, Flea? Trump's gonna rock it? Yep, you're right, Lisa. Flea definitely ready for his speech. Man, I think everybody is. This whole live, everyone pops in. They're like, "We're gonna watch the speech, right?" Yeah. Tony Brez, happy freedom to you. Becoming omnipresent. Let's see here. Tactical. It takes 1 year from announcement to leave NATO before it is officially an out due to NATO agreement. Interesting. So today might be day one. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I guess I mean, that's the way to go. I have Democrat friends. I don't hate them. I embrace the tards. Yeah. So you're a nice guy, I guess. Non-woke, how old is Klaus? On February 7th, he became 3 years old. He's a 3-year-old hooligan cat. Matthew, is President Trump speaking now? No, he's supposed to be speaking at 9. RightSide might be live. I don't even know if this link is for RightSide. No, it's actually from the White House. 95 minutes. We got 95 minutes until President Trump is supposed to be live. But the thing is he's not usually live right on time. Now, maybe this will be different because it's in front of Congress and all of that. And all those old people are going to be there before, way after their bedtime. So maybe he'll be on time. But like with Trump rallies, I mean, he could be anywhere from 45 minutes late to 2 hours and 45 minutes late. And so we'll see how it goes. Oh, Hill, yeah. Yeah, I follow him on X. Alistair, don't be silly. We're not going to leave NATO. See, I don't know enough about NATO to know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Turtle Bomb, they're always late. Yeah. Matthew, is that 9 a.m. your time? Yeah. Eastern time. Easter time. Totally care. Grumpy old troll living under a bridge. Yeah, I tried to hop in the chat, but they didn't live very long. I used to let them hang out in the chat more, which I probably could on Rumble, but on Twitch, I let a troll hang out for a while, and they were reporting everything that everybody was responding to them with in the chat, which nobody was saying anything bad. They were just like, shut your stupid mouth and stuff like that. But the troll reported enough comments to where it suspended my whole live for 2 weeks. And so on soft platforms like Twitch and YouTube, I have to just ban trolls. I can't let them hang out. Tactical. Zelenskyy thinks the Ukraine is like Burger King, but they can't have it their way. Yeah. Well, and he's finding out. Fresca being, you should play a video and go make your dinner now. No, I can't. There's not enough time. Plus, all we got is the fun stuff. We're out of the news for the day, which is totally fine. That was quite a bit of news anyways. Still pissy about Tom Homan. He sounds so good. He's so believable. But then AOC still walking around free. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get into the fun stuff. Let me see here. We're going to open today's door from the Advent calendar that was sent to us by Josh 1776. We're getting down to it. Today is day 18. Like I said, I'm going to be cracking open today's door. 18 out of 24. Let's see what we get today. Hiya. What is this? It's flesh colored, so. Oh, weird. It is a flesh colored Oogie Boogie. That threw me off guard because I saw that color and I was like, it's going to be a tiny wiener and I'm not going to be able to show you guys. Thank you so much, Josh 1776. Couple more days. I love this Advent calendar. Now, we got 2 funny videos coming up, but before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Like I said, we're going to get into these funny videos here. It's funny, I always forget what the funny videos are, and then when I remember at the end of the live, it's like, oh yeah. Anyways, this first one's titled, How Bottom Surgeries Were Done in the 90s. Rough. That's rough stuff. It was a lot cheaper back then. Anyways, getting on to our official funny video of the day. Get this pulled up. This is a good one too. This is titled, Better Watch How You Treat People.
What we're gonna do? We've never ever been able to ever make ends meet, have we? It's all your damn fault for not earning enough anyway.
Oh, don't start.
Don't you threaten me, you weak, cowering little man. I've given you the best years of my life. You've got no drive, no ambition. That's your trouble.
Right, this is a hold-up. Get back. Come. Anybody moves, she gets it.
Well, damn. That's just how it goes. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. Of course, we will be live later on when President Trump goes live. That he's got coming up. Once again, it is titled, President Trump Addresses Joint Session of Congress. And like I said, we will be covering that once it's live. But until then, we're going to be wrapping this up. I'm going to grab this Linktree link and drop it in all of the chats. We're going to read through them. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. All right, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, I would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we've got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You'll have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, which is to encourage open discussion. You'll have access to the arcade, which is full of games that are a ton of fun. And you'll also have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the place to be and the home of the Hooligans, so definitely go get yourself a membership. Like I said, we're going to read through, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next, and we're going to be wrapping this up. But like I mentioned, we will be live later on today for President Trump speaking to Congress. Ooh. You hear that? It's like breaking chalk. I've cracked my neck all day. I don't normally capture it on camera, though. You Hill, at least I know I won't be shaking from coffee withdrawals. Yeah, I suppose I will be. I'm coffeeed up today. Guess I wonder if Jack in the Box is pulling out of Ohio due to the new law. They didn't pass the law. It was just suggested. But yeah, you know, you got to worry about that. You got to worry about that stuff in Ohio. Like that South Park episode, Jacking It in Ohio. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. Told to carry taco salad coming up with nachos. Man, that sounds good. Done. We had to switch it up today. Had tacos last night, meatloaf, and mashed potatoes tonight. Dang, that's awesome. What's up, Poetic? Happy freedom to you. You're getting tacos too? Holy, somebody needs to drop me off some tacos. Happy freedom to you, Turtle Mom. Thank you for being here with us. Told to care, was that Benny Hill? I don't know who that was. I've never seen that person before, ever, but I thought it was funny. Done. Careful doing that with your neck. I did it for years. My spine looks like an S now and can't crack it no more. Yeah, I try not to, but sometimes it's like I can't turn my head because my neck locks up, which is probably from doing that my whole life. But yeah, I'll be careful. What's up, Joe Bosch? Happy freedom to you. What is the drinking game for Trump's speech? Oh man, I'll think about it. I didn't realize. Well, we got time. I'll ask the Hooligans in Discord and as well as the website, and we'll see if we can put something together. Bill Clay, the bank robbery skit was from the show Is it Two Ronnies? It must be Two Ronnies. It's got two N's. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Bill Clay. Tree, you got nachos in the smoker? That sounds super good. Pill to Heaven, Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes. You guys are eating pretty good today. What's up, Happy Finger? Happy freedom to you. Hey, I appreciate you, Hill. Alistair, y'all suck. I'm perpetually dieting. Never get to enjoy Taco Tuesday. I don't know what kind of diet you're on, but like, what if you use lettuce leaves instead of taco shells? Could you cook burger or chicken and then use lettuce leaves as taco shells? Because I have like gluten problems, and I've been thinking about doing that, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. There's just something about corn tortillas and lime juice that really go together, and I'm like, you know what, it ain't gonna taste the same if I wrap it in lettuce. You Hill, you're gonna be a spaceman for the speech. Thank you, Rappy. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Viola. Lenny, happy Mardi Gras. I didn't realize Mardi Gras was going on. Appreciate you, Teasel. All right, Hooligans. It's that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did the thing. We're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again about 9 p.m. Eastern time for President Trump's speech. Now, we'll go live once he gets on stage. We're not going to sit here and just stare at old people and do a bunch of nothing. Once he makes his presence known, we'll kick off this live. So just keep that in mind if you don't see us live right at 9 p.m. Eastern time, because I am going to be sitting here staring at the screen like a hawk, waiting for the orange eagle to appear like a prophecy. And then I'm going to click that go live button and we're going to be doing the thing. Okay, so if you don't see us live at 9, that means President Trump ain't on stage yet. But either way, we're going to read through and we're wrapping her up. Guess stand tall, lose the bra, send a pic, and then I'll call. That's right, words to live by. Guess you're so wise. Thank you, Appeal to Heaven. God bless you. I appreciate you, Matthew. Thank you, Tony Brez. Jeb, that's what she said. Mm-hmm. Teasel, lettuce, wrapped chicken, Asian. I think it's healthier than using tortillas. Could be wrong. I'm not a gynecologist. I just play one on TV. Appeal to Heaven, don't forget to hit that refresh. Yes, I will remember. Thank you for the reminder. All right, hooligans. It looks like we are good to go. Like I said, we will be live again 9 p.m. Eastern time, or whenever President Trump steps on stage. But if I don't see you tonight for whatever reason, hopefully I'll see you here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. We'll be keeping an eye out for press briefings and stuff like that, as well as lives coming out of the White House. So definitely make your way back here tomorrow. If I don't see you tonight, you should be coming here tonight, though, to watch President Trump. I'm just saying. Either way, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Go enjoy your night. Go find some good food. I would like to do so. I might have enough time. We'll see. Either way, I appreciate all of you guys. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.